Hello internets, Jesus loves you. My name's Cody and this is the Christian News Show we do on Tuesdays and Thursdays with geeksonthegrace.com. And before we get into the news today, a couple of things. First of all, you may have noticed we haven't been having the Friday video. That is still not happening. Fridays have been going to youtube.com/geeksonthegrace. So tomorrow we do have an interesting interview with a developer who made a game called Church in the Darkness. The game is about cults. It is very interesting. And after that, I need to figure out some kind of consistent show I can do for Fridays. But also on Mondays at 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, we usually do live videos at facebook.com/geeksonthegrace. So my hope for those of you who don't use Facebook is to continue to do that, but then also on my computer have that at a different angle, also doing the live video. So that means that'll be at youtube.com/geeksonthegrace on Mondays at 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time as well. We're gonna get to our first story of the day, getting very real very quickly. And it's not so much of a news story as it is just an article I think you should really check out. It's titled, "I'm a Pastor and I Attempted Suicide." It's written very well, it's very impactful. I actually have a few friends myself who have at the very least attempted, thankfully never committed. So I don't know you, I don't know what you're going through, but I still think that you should check it out regardless. I really appreciate pastors who, show their flaws. They're not perfect, they're just as messed up as everybody else, and it's extremely refreshing to see them admit that. And then moving on to our next story, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but according to a new study, it seems that religious institutions cause more of an effect on the US economy than Facebook and Google combined, contributing about $378 billion. I sometimes kind of forget just how big the church really is. But the good thing about this is that the church is using this to help the economy. Think about drug and alcohol abuse programs, programs for veterans, programs for getting the homeless back on their feet. These are all things helpful to the economy. And the final story of the day takes us to India. We're talking about human trafficking. Luckily today, this is a good one. We're talking about the Christian aid mission. People don't realize human trafficking is a huge issue in India. Little girls young as 4 being taken and used. And what's even worse is a lot of times it's the parents that are doing so because they need money to live. And so what Christian Aid Mission does is that it is obviously a Christian ministry. It brings these girls in, and for a lot of them, they raise them, making sure that they get to go to church or go to school, have clothing and food. And their work has been on the rise, so we had to give them a shout out here on the show. So if you want to help support them, Christian Aid Mission is their name. Also, whenever I bring up human trafficking, there is another name that I mentioned, and that is love146.org. And they fight human trafficking here in the United States, like in the country that you live in, because it's very much a thing and a lot of people don't realize that it is. Instead of a question of the day, I'm gonna have a call to action here. Go to youtube.com/geeksonthegrace and hit subscribe, and then in the comments, tell me if you've already done that like forever ago or if you just did it, and then I can be really happy that you did so. Yeah, that's what we're going with. I think that's probably a good idea since I'm going to be putting content over there. Also, make sure you check out geeksonthegrace.com for more geeky content. My name is Cody Armour, bringing you Christian news in a not so boring kind of way every Tuesday and Thursday. In closing, let the haters hate, let the Christians pray, and to everybody like subscribe, I will see you later, and God bless.